All right, Coach. Just kind of what did you see out there? I know UCF has a very good defensive team coming into it. They made it difficult for you guys tonight. What are the biggest things that you saw out there tonight?
I just thought we couldn't get any traction, getting any stops. I mean, like they, their athleticism. I thought they were going downhill extremely hard, drawing fouls. They obviously got to the foul line, and I just thought they were a step ahead of us on both ends the whole night. A step ahead of us when we were trying to guard them. They were a step ahead of us defensively when we drove, and I think that's we knew the way they protect the rim. We had to make some shots. And Dart Hard got free a handful of times in the zone, but the rest of us, I think, were 1 for 10. We knew we had to have a high assist, low turnover night. We felt we had to, because they take away the rim so much, we had to collapse it and kick and make some shots, and we had the flip-flop. We had high turnovers, low assists, so we had that backwards. And I thought they did a great job of every time they turned us over, they converted. I mean, they were just really getting out in transition, and that was one of our keys of the game, and it was one of our worst transition defensive games. We were last week. I think we gave up 2 transition points, and we gave up 20 tonight.
And your team seemed to lack energy just from the get-go.
I felt so too. I thought we were just a step behind. On both ends the whole night. I don't know why. We played with tremendous energy the other night, just from the jump, it was a step behind on both ends.
I know JV McCollum, he bounced back in the last game. He kind of struggled from an offensive standpoint tonight. I know it was probably an important game for him being back in his home state. What did you see out of JV tonight?
No, for sure. He put so much pressure on himself. He's an unbelievable kid, great player, and I know he had a lot of people here tonight, but he's one of our key guys, and he did some really good things, and then there were some other things he wished he had better. But for us, he's been a joy to coach. He's been nothing but one of our toughest workers, and we got a lot left to play. One game's not going to define him.
Coach, it seemed like in the second half, you talked about the transition with UCF. It seemed like they were attacking the basket a little bit more.
Yeah.
They made adjustments looks like at the half to kind of maybe attack you more at the rim. Did you guys feel that way?
I don't think we guarded our yard. We call guard our yard. You're 3 feet each way. I don't think we guarded our yard very well. I think Darius and Sellers, they got downhill too much. And when they go downhill, those guys are really strong and old, and they know how to initiate the contact. They do it. They do a very nice job. And once they got downhill, they were very smart. They were either finishing or drawing the foul. And I don't think we guarded our yard very well, and that led to a lot.
Going off that, what did you think of UCF's Jaylin Sellers tonight?
He's terrific. I mean, he's just very strong. He gets low. He was hard to stay in front of. But I thought he had, just tremendous athletic ability, size. Where is he? I know he had 20, got to the foul line. I mean, great scorers get to that foul line. I mean, they know how to go downhill. Took care of the ball. Only had 1 turnover, but great scorers know how to get to that foul line.
You talked about having to prepare for UCF size. I'm sure there's big teams throughout the conference, but when you're facing a team like UCF with all the athleticism on the wing and length on the interior, is there kind of an adjustment that has to be made in game that maybe wasn't made tonight to attack that size?
Not as much, but it's what we talked about. We really tried to get downhill, and we had to have high assists, low turnovers, and we had to have some guys make some shots. I thought we left a lot on the table. When you look back in this game, I thought we left a lot on the table bunny-wise. Sam Godwin's a terrific player for us. I know he left a bunch. Our guards, Milo's got to the rim. You can't, when you do get to the rim, you can't leave them on the table. I think you'll see when you rewatch that tape that we missed a handful of those. But you simply got to make the right play when they collapse, and they make it hard because they're active. I thought they had a lot of deflections. That's another thing with that they're long, but they didn't quit on the play. If you did get by them, I thought they got a tremendous amount of deflections. And I think and we have a saying, deflections puts doubt in the passer's mind. And I just looked like we were a step slow with all the deflections UCF got.
You've coached here before. I think your first season, one of your first games was down here at UCF. Just what's your overall impression of UCF basketball in the Big 12? I know a lot was made that they might struggle their first season. They were predicted last in the conference. Obviously, they're winning some games. Just what's your perspective of how UCF is doing in the Big 12?
They're doing great. I mean, gosh, they've won a lot of good games. Their fan base is terrific. A great atmosphere, very well coached. I mean, they fit right in. I mean, they're physical, they're long, athletic. I mean, heck, look at the wins they got in our league. So their atmosphere is great. The fans, they were terrific.
And where do you assess your team at the halfway point now, 4-5 in the league?
You know, we've had our moments. We've been really good. We've had some things we got to stay with it. But the thing about this league is you're going to learn. It's you can't get too down. You've got to, and you can't get too high. You got to bounce back. I mean, every game you try to get on one-game win streaks. You try to get on some one-game win streaks, and that's what we got to go on now. We got to go on a one-game win streak because every night it's something. It's crazy how what you got to prepare for. So that's what we got to do. We got to turn around and play better next game.
Johnny Dawkins earned his 300th career win tonight. How well do you know Johnny, and what's your reaction to him achieving that milestone?
I know Johnny through the profession, class all the way. I mean, there's not a person that wouldn't say Johnny Dawkins is one of the most classy guys, and it's a lot of wins, and he does it the right way. I mean, a lot of integrity, a lot of class, and congratulations to Johnny.
With UCF being new to the conference, as someone who's coached in this conference before, what would you say is the biggest key to success in Big 12 basketball?
There's not one. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, it's resiliency, recruiting. I mean, there's some high-level players here. You got to stay up. I mean, let's not make it is. You got some of the best players in the country. They're old. This league is old. You got to guard and be tough. If you're not tough, I mean, some of the best defenses in the country are in this league. You got to be tough, ball strong, and resilient because it's every single night. You got to, there's not one answer to that. It's the best basketball conference in the country, and you got to be willing to be ready to go every night. Thanks, guys.
All right, Shemarri, welcome back to the games. How frustrating was it being out for the last few, and how determined were you to try to get back for this one to help your team win?
Really determined, just staying in the training room with Ray, getting extra work. That was the main focus, like trying to get myself back, being able to help my team.
Any rust tonight? How did you feel?
I was a little fatigued at the beginning, but once I caught my second win, I was pretty much fine.
Shemarri, it seemed like in the second half you guys kind of made a more conscious effort to attack the basket. Was there something discussed at halftime about maybe trying to go in after that when it came to your transition game?
I feel like lately in the past we lay back and we get relaxed in the second half, but this game we tried to stay in attack mode, get to the free throw line, different things like that to keep us focused and locked in offensively. And we knew getting stops defensively would help us.
You held a ranked Oklahoma team to 63 points and 37% shooting. How would you assess your defensive performance tonight?
That was a great team defense, and we just stayed locked in the whole 40 minutes, and our main focus was just one step at a time, one step at a time.
Just kind of building off of that, you guys have really embraced this defensive identity. I think you're ranked, in the top of almost every defensive category. When the team is able to get the kind of turnovers and steals and blocks that you're getting, how much does that feed the offense and feed the energy for this team?
It gives us a lot of energy. Just getting out in transition after we get a turnover, like you said, or a big stop that we really need, gives us a lot of energy offensively, and we tend to get open looks in transition or in the half court.
So, I mean, how did you feel? Was there a moment where you kind of, I don't know if there was a little bit of pain or not in that ankle, but was there a moment of the game where you're like, I got to push through, where your ankle was feeling a lot better, I'm sure, when you saw what the score on the scoreboard was?
I don't think it really affected me at all. I just tried not to think about it and go out there and give it all for my team, and came out with the victory at the end.
Today was Coach Dawkins' 300th career win. What's it been like playing for him? What have you learned from Coach Dawkins, a college basketball Hall of Famer himself?
A lot, just not only on the court but off the court. He just teaching us how to be great young men on and off the floor, and we really appreciate him for that. And honestly, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
After the two tough losses that the team suffered, how important was it to come in here and earn this win?
Really important. We knew Coach was one win away from 300, and we just wanted to really get that for him and continue to get wins. Stack wins is our main motto. 1-0 is what we preach each and every day.
Shemarri, not a lot of people thought you'd do much in this league, and at the halfway point, you're 4-5. How do you assess where this team is at this point, and what it's proven to itself?
We just continue to stay humble, keep a chip on our shoulder, know every day we got to work for what we want, and just prove the doubters wrong.
What are you seeing from Antoine Jones? He's really stepped up. In your absence, he stepped up. He had a big game today as well. What are you seeing from Antoine?
A lot of energy, offensively and defensively. We know he can help us a lot, and just how far he's come and different things like that is really showing now.
Shemarri, you talked about wanting to get this win for Coach Dawkins. Did you guys, as players, talk about it before the game or sometime in the last couple of days about trying to get this win for him?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously talked about it in the locker room during practice, different things like that, but we knew coming out we just had to handle business, and at the end we would come out victorious.
I mean, how great is it to win home games? I mean, I know you guys probably felt you let one slide a few nights ago, but how exciting was it getting a win in front of the home fans?
I'm super excited. We really owe the fans, and not only the fans, but like coach and ourselves at the end of the day, so we really needed that one.
You guys feel you can use this win and get some momentum going on the road next week?
Absolutely. We'll use this win to go into the next game and games after. So just keeping that mindset going 1-0.
Their leading scorer, you guys pretty much stifled him, Jaylin McCollum. He's a Florida native. I know he had a lot of people in the stands. Was that a real emphasis for you guys to try to take him from going off and scoring?
Yeah, we knew he was a great player, great scorer at all three levels. So just slowing him down was one of the main focal points in tonight's game, and I feel like we did a really great job. But he is a great player and great scorer. So.
So you guys, when the second half started, you hit the floor with your hands. What was the meaning behind that?
Really just, it's something we do in practice each and every day, like locking in on getting stops. So, like, we really needed a stop at that moment. So I feel like we talked about it and was like, let's hit the floor, and we did it, and it really got the crowd. So we enjoyed doing that, getting stops. We really love playing defense.
Thank you.
All right, Jaylin, how good did that one feel? Just you led the entire way. You needed a bounce-back win after the other night. This is a top 25 team. I mean, how satisfied are you with your performance out there?
I won't say I'm satisfied, but I'm glad we was able to extend the lead. It feel good to just get a win and extend the lead when we up and not let the team come back in the game.
You pointed out that the team hasn't put two halves together. Was this two halves together?
I feel like we made some mistakes, but I think we did better. I would say that. I think we did better. I'm kind of going to be our toughest critic, but I think we did better. We did good with extending the lead. And the times that we needed to knock down free throws, we knocked down free throws, and we didn't stop attacking. And I think we played defense well, but we could do better.
Going off that, you guys held a ranked Oklahoma team to 37% shooting. Just overall, how would you describe the team's defensive performance tonight?
Like I said, I feel like we one of the top defensive teams in the country. If not one, I feel like we 1 possession, 2 possessions away from being the top defensive team in the country.
Jaylin, you guys seem to come out of the second half with a little more fire. You attacked the basket a little bit more. What was there something said at halftime? What sort of adjustments did you guys want to make to kind of become more attacking, I guess, against Oklahoma's defense?
We emphasized the first 4 minutes of the game to start that's what we was going to do, and then we emphasized it the first 4 minutes in the second half to do the same exact thing. We knew they would play us tough and try to keep us out of the paint, so we just wanted. Coach Dawkins elaborated on in practice that nobody should keep us out of paint. Last game we didn't have a lot of paint touches, so this game we kind of emphasized to get to the paint, whether it was forced or we just made good plays to get to the paint.
I know you guys missed Shemarri Allen the last couple games. How important was it? How key was he coming back tonight and helping you guys pull out the win?
It feel good to have Shemarri back, just to have him on my side and just hear him talking stuff like that. I love to see him on the court. I'm definitely glad to be playing back beside him.
When you look at this game, all the steals and blocks and those kind of energy defensive plays, how much do they help kind of feed the offense a little bit and bring the energy up for the whole group?
They help a lot with us just being able to get stops, block shots and things of that sort. Our bigs most definitely have our back. On that backside, Shemarri made a couple good plays down the stretch like he always do. So it's good to have him back and good to be playing great defense this game.
Obviously, with the win, Coach Dawkins earns his 300th career win. Just what's your reaction to that, and how are you feeling for Coach Dawkins?
I'm very proud of Coach Dawkins. I always say put some respect on Coach Dawkins' name. I'm very proud of him. He believed in me, so that means a lot to me, and he also believed in us as a team. So I always praise him on a high hope.
Jaylin, you went 3 of 10 from the floor tonight, but you also were able to go 13 of 14 from the free throw line. How big is it for you to get to the free throw line when shooting from the floor might not be working out your way sometimes?
It's big. Just been talking to Coach Dawkins, just being able to find ways to score the ball. Once the ball not gonna go in every night, but just being able to find other ways to score the ball, that was good for me. Just to know that I'm still locked in, whether the ball was going in or not.
You're about to hit the 1,000 points mark in your career. With today's game, it's only missing 22. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it just with all the work that I put in. But with these 9 games left, I just want to win these last 9 games and stay focused on that. But I'm most definitely proud of that. I put in a lot of hard work to do things of that sort, and also I'm thankful for all the coaches that put trust in me to be able to score the ball and things of that sort. But the job ain't finished yet, so.
This team's 4 and 5 at the break now, at the halfway point. How would you assess what you've seen from this team over this first half?
I think most definitely one of the top teams in the country. We just got to put 2 halves together. Every night that we put 2 halves together and we be the toughest team, we always come out on top. I feel like we done showed that we're one of the top teams in the country if we put 2 halves together. So.
You get some big wins at home, but this is a tough road trip now. What does this team need to do on the road that it hasn't done so far?
Just being able to stay focused, just have a lot of composure on the road, confidence, and just being able to stay together because we all we got when we're on the road. So just being able to stay together and stay focused on the road, and also being able to try to take care of our bodies a little bit more with us having a long road trip. We got a break coming up, so we need to be able to take care of our bodies and make sure we're doing the right things.
Jaylin, you had Antoine Jones out there tonight going 6 of 7, 3 of 4 from three-point land. What's it been like working with Antoine, and what do you have to say about his performance today?
Very proud of Twan. We know that he can come out and do that any given game that he wants to. So I'm very proud of the things that he's doing. I put a lot of trust in him and things of that sort on and off the court. So I'm proud of all the success that he's getting.
You said taking care of your body. How important is this, having a week off for you in particular with, some of the challenges you've had?
Just being able to overdo it, taking care of your body, the time that you need rest, the time that you need to hit the ice tub. Just being able to get in the training room with Ray and just making sure that we're taking care of our body each and every day. Most definitely for me. So.
4 and 5 at the halfway point. What do you think you guys have proven to the rest of the Big 12? Like you mentioned many times in the preseason, they didn't expect much out of UCF, predicting you guys to finish in last. What do you think you've proven so far?
That, like I said, that we're one of the top teams in the country, not just in the Big 12. I feel like we're one of the top teams in the country. We just got to be able to just stay consistent and keep putting 2 halves together and just keep going at it like it's our last game, and we'll be fine. Just taking a 1-0 process each day and practicing each day in the game. All right, appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Well, I thought we beat a good basketball team. I thought our guys really stepped up, coming off 2 losses in a row, knowing the importance of defending our home court. I thought our guys really responded. We talked about that all year long, and every game's going to be like it was tonight. It's going to be a great opponent. Talented players, great coaches, and I thought our guys did a really good job of staying focused at the task at hand, and that's getting us back, on a winning path. And so I'm really proud of our guys' effort, and then we have to continue to move on, enjoy today, and then we move on because there's no rest. You have to go to the next opponent.
Coach, congratulations on win number 300. Shemarri Allen, him coming back tonight, I know he was probably itching to get back. Probably killed him to, miss the last couple of games. But how important was he coming back and gutting things out and contributing to the win tonight?
He was amazing. He's been amazing for us all season long. As I've mentioned to you guys before, it doesn't show up in the box scores always what he does for your team. He's just such a whirlwind out there. He's making plays. He's covering for guys defensively. He's blocking shots like he's a big man. Then he's out in the break. You never saw him get out there. He's the first one down the floor. He just does so many, positive things for your team. And that's not to say, that's not even, mentioning his leadership. What a leader, too. So he's a winner. He's a heart of a champion. And I'm just so happy we have him.
Your team flipped the script in some key areas versus the game the other day. Points in the paint, caused more turnovers. What did you like most about how the team responded after that loss and turned those categories around?
Well, we did a lot of watching tape and doing a lot of, internally just soul searching, like what can we do to be better? And we identified some of the things you just mentioned, and I thought our guys did a really good job of focusing on those areas, focusing on, being stronger with the basketball, playing through contact, maybe to get more fouls. I thought our guys did a better job, overall just being more alert defensively when we were in the half court. And then offensively, I thought we've been playing pretty well. I thought in the second half, though, in this game, we still played well. I thought a lot of the games, second half games, we've kind of, we hadn't been as good offensively. We've been a little bit stagnant. Shot selection hadn't been what I really wanted it to be. I thought tonight's game, second half, we really valued all those possessions, which made it a lot better for us.
The past few times we've spoke, the topic of win number 300 has always come up. It's, you're almost there. Now that it's finally happened, has it set in yet? Like, how are you feeling personally right now?
I'm glad it's over. One, because I don't want that kind of pressure on our team, thinking that to win 300 for me, and you don't win it. Then the next game, get 300 for me, you don't win it, and that can build up, and put pressure on guys. It's unfair to them. I want them to concentrate on, what we're trying to do as a team, what type of season we're trying to have, and not get caught up, how many wins that is for the coach that they're playing for. So I'm glad it's over, so that's no longer a factor in what we're trying to do, because our guys have great hearts, and I know they care and they want to do it for me. And we want to win because we want to, we want to win and we want to excel in the conference. And a byproduct is a win where I get my 300. It's not the other way around. So I'm happy that it's passed, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
This team's built its defensive identity throughout the season. How key was the steals, the blocks, kind of forcing those turnovers and making those plays to feed that offense and get them back to that level?
Well, they were huge. That's how we wanted to build our team. We wanted to build a team that wanted to play 94 feet, play with great energy, play with really good pace. And our strength, as I've said, is in our numbers. And so the way you utilize your numbers means you have to have confidence that you can play at least 10 players on the floor, and that's what you see us doing. We're able to play a number of players because we think they all are good and they all can help us. And that allows our energy and effort to be at max all the time, because if you're tired, we can sub you out confidently. We can put somebody in that can come in and contribute. So that's kind of what we've gone through with this season. That's what our belief has been, and we continue to think that that's the best way for this team to play.
I know you guys struggled going to the line against Baylor. That was not the case tonight, but not only going to the line, but executing free throws, 28 of 32.
Well, the tale of two games, right? 1 for 7. I was amazed because I know our guys are much better free throw shooters than that. And then to come out tonight and go 28 for 32. So I was really proud of their focus. They were locked in. We spent time on the free throw line today and spent time talking about the things we have to do. And, again, they were able to respond, and that's what you want to see from your team. To go through this league, it's going to be the same word every time. Respond. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a bad way. And our guys did a really good job of responding in the areas they needed to for us to have a chance to win.
Shemarri, is he the best defender guard you've had since you've been here? He got 5 defensive rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Clearly you missed him on the court, and your defense, he's a difference maker, isn't he?
No, he absolutely is. And, we have to try to win when we don't have those guys, of course, because we're never going to make excuses. And but it's great having him back. I would think he and A.J. Davis and maybe Darius Perry are the 3 guys that I think are probably the 3 best defenders that I've coached since I've been here. All of those guys were amazing in their own way. A.J. was kind of similar to Shemarri, whereas I think Darius Perry was more of an on-ball defender. Whoever he guarded, he pretty much guarded him well, where Shemarri's all over the place, AJ's all over the place. It seems like on any given possession, they may have guarded 3 different guys. I'm like, man, he guarded him, he's guarding the big guy, and he's back on the point guard. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, I love it because you have to have great energy and an amazing desire to accomplish that, and he has both.
The team held a ranked Oklahoma team to 37% shooting. How would you describe your defensive performance tonight?
You know, I thought we had a really good defensive effort. I thought our guys really executed the game plan. They're a very good basketball team. It's hard to slow them down. They're really good in transition to get out and run. In the half court, they have all kind of weapons, shooters, guys that can finish around the basket. So they pose all kind of unique challenges. But I thought our guys really did lock in and execute the game plan and gave us a chance tonight.
For most that follow college basketball, this team has exceeded expectations. How do you evaluate where your team is at 4-5 at the halfway point of this Big 12 schedule?
Again, you know, Trace. For me, it's always the same thing. We have our own standards and our own, what am I looking for? Our own expectations, and people are going to, put expectations on you, and they should, and you make allowances for that because you have to put people where you think they're going to go when you're ranking them. But then internally, we don't have to accept those expectations and those standards. We have to have our own, and we still haven't achieved, what I think we're capable of achieving. So for us, we're going to keep pushing and keep fighting because we still haven't reached our full potential yet, as a program or as a team. And so I'm not going to settle for anything less. We're going to keep pushing until we find a way to get where we want to be, and that's a process that we're going through right now.
What will it take in the second half to make a run in the NCAA tournament,
We have to be better than we were in the first half, for sure. We have to clean up some things that we're doing against some teams that are very, very good. We have to be more sound defensively. We can't have any defensive lapses. As I think I mentioned last time I was in here, you can't play 35 minutes or 30 minutes in this league. It has to be 40 every time. Tonight it was 40, and we earned the victory. And so we need to grow and learn from that on the back half, that we have got to play 40-minute games. We can't have any let-ups in any of the games because these teams are too good. If you let up at any moment, they're going to capitalize on your mistakes. And then if we can build on that, we'll start gaining some momentum and start trying to achieve the things we think we can accomplish.
What happened with Scylla at the end of the first half? Did you just kind of show some frustration?
I didn't see the play, so I got the information when I came out of at halftime. The referees pulled me aside and said that he was out. And so I didn't see it, so it's hard for me to evaluate what he did. Whatever it is, if it's something that was warranted, then we'll handle that internally like we always do. We always want to play with class. You win with class and you lose with class is what we always say. And so if it's something he did that wasn't correct, then we'll make the corrections internally, and then we'll move forward. Because it's all about teaching lessons and young people learning these lessons as they move forward in life.
Coach, you had Antoine Jones leading the way from the floor, 6 to 7, 3 or 4 from beyond the arc. What has it been like watching him evolve into kind of the starter that he was tonight?
Well, I'm really happy for Antoine. He's a young man that had a tough road. If you think about what he's gone through over his career, he's never had an opportunity that he has right now. And I like to see a young man making the most out of that opportunity. Like, we believe in him and what he can do for our team and our program. And I'm happy to see him stepping up in the roles that we've been giving him. And hopefully he continues to do what he's doing, because he's another piece that adds value to our program and helps makes us better.
Of course, after these 300 games that already passed, you've learned a lot, definitely. And I would like to know from your perspective, what's the thing that you most appreciate from the 300th game, especially from this team of the season?
Well, I'm very grateful for the young men that have played for me. I was one of those, former players, so I understand, playing for my mentor, what that means. And so, I'm just very grateful that I've been able to coach some amazing young men, not just because of wins, but because of the people that they are and the people that they have become. So that's the thing that I really, look at the most. I look back at each team, and I told my team after the game, I said, I look back at each one of the teams I've coached and the players that was on those teams, and I'm just thankful I've had a chance to work for some amazing people.
When we would talk to the head coaches, they always, come in here and they talk about what a tremendous atmosphere they just played in here. Just talk about the evolution of this, because it seems like for years we'd kind of get you going and try to, promote the game, and you want people to show up, and now it's every game is pretty much sold out. Tonight was just talk about how the fans have really stepped up during this first Big 12 season.
As you said, they've stepped up. And as we talked about before, I said if you guys step up, you never have to worry about the effort that we'll give. I mean, our guys will give a winning effort every night. And I think they're doing that. And we wouldn't be in this position, as we're talking about where we are and what we can do moving forward if it wasn't for our fans. Because the bottom line is we don't win several of these games if we didn't have them behind us. And like I said, they're truly our sixth man. They bring great energy. They're with us 100%. I can hear them sometimes. And I usually tune out a lot of things as a coach because we have to do that. But I can hear them, and they're really raucous. They're going after it. And that's what you want to have, that type of environment. So very thankful and grateful for their support, because without them, we wouldn't even be in the position we're in now.
You go on the road now for a couple games. You got no midweeks this week. Just take us through the approach this week as you get ready to play Texas Tech and then BYU for a second time.
Well, we have to look at this week as an opportunity to continue to get better. I mean, we can get healthier and better. We have guys who are battling a few injuries and things, as you know. So hopefully this gives them a chance to continue to improve it in that area. Then there are things we got to work on. It's a big week for us to work on, going to the second half of conference play, improving in areas that we know we have to get better at. And so we're going to hopefully spend this week at really working on those things execution-wise, both defensively and offensively.
What do you hope your team has learned from some difficult road games, hostile environments? You've talked throughout the season about composure.
Yes,
that's part of the messaging for the week.
Absolutely, it has to be for us. That's where it begins and ends with us. We have to stay composed for that 40 minutes, because when people come here in our environment, it's like this, and you can see them lose their composure a little bit. We go on the road the same way. I think when you mature and you find out how good you can become, you go on the road with more of a sense of, maturity, where you go, okay, we have to keep our composure. They're going to make runs. They're going to have their crowd. It's going to be in it. So you have to try to take their crowd out as much as we can by how well we execute. And we have to make sure when they are making these runs that we stay composed, because in basketball, you have to stop those runs and go on your own runs. And so we have to figure out how to do that. And that just, to me, is being in those situations repeatedly and learning from them. And so we've been in them through this first half. We need to learn from them, and those are things we need to work on and talk about as we go into this next week.
What's the next milestone? 350, 4, 5?
Well, no, I really don't. In all seriousness, I don't really think about myself at all. I just think about what we can do with our teams, and each team is so unique. Each team is so different. Just think, this team will never be together again. It never will be in its entirety. No team typically is ever together in its entirety. So what you want to do is each one of these moments with each group that you have, you just want to maximize it, because there are really no do-overs, because it'll be somebody different next year. So my biggest thing is it's more about them than myself. It's how can I serve and help these young men, maximize who they are.
Hey, Coach. Jaylin before said that you believed in him. What attributes did you see that maybe no one else saw?
Again, I think he has an amazing heart. I mean, he's I've coached a lot of players, and I don't think there's anybody I've coached is any more competitive than he is. His desire to compete, desire to win is at an all-time high. And it's our job as coaches to put him in the right place to be successful, but he comes with an amazing spirit. He and Shemarri both have added so much to our program, not just with the points, but with who they are. And so when in recruiting, and sitting down, looking into his eyes, you could just see that fire burning, that he wants to win. He wants to be a part of something special. And it starts with that, because you have to have that belief and that desire. And definitely we believed in him. And I tell you what, I've enjoyed coaching that young man every single practice, every single game. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.